this book I created for adults, teens and children is the anti-stress coloring book Animals in Our World, and today I'm going to be coloring the tiger, who is also on the cover page, so he's a bit fancy that way. So this is available on Gumroad right now for you to download if you want to experiment and paint along with me. And the Procreate file is there, and as well as a PDF file that you can download and use. This is the brush section, so you go here, and the native brushes in my Procreate app are here. So here you have water, organic, industrial, vintage, spray paints. Eagle Hawk is nice. So for example, if I want to make the tiger orange, right? So this is very small, so I'm gonna make it big. Oh, this is nice. When you download this, you will see that you'll get two layers. One is a insert image, which if you switch off will just be this label. So you can switch that off right now. I'm not gonna paint with any texture with this right now. Just to show you. Later on we can get more into advanced details of textures, but what I'd like you to do is click on this N and scroll down to multiply. Now the reason we're doing this is because it becomes visible, alright, or even over paint. Create a layer with the plus sign and drag it under the drawing layer, and so M and your drawing layer should be on top. And now we're going to be drawing on the bottom layer, alright? So I've chosen an orange, just a plain old orange, and I'm pressing hard. If I press soft, it gets very light. I'm pressing hard here, and I'm filling I like this texture, very nice. So I'm pressing really hard, and I'm covering the part of the tiger. Mr. Tiger, or tigress, depending on what you'd like. My daughter likes tigress. Alright, so now I fill the colors. It's pretty simple. This is not a big deal. But now what's happened is I've got a little bleeding here. What I tend to do, so if you go over it, then the texture disappears. So if you like the texture, then don't press too hard. Like, see, here's it's light, and then when you press hard, it becomes darker. So it's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot this area. I'm gonna go a little smaller with my brush and get the ear. Okay. Now I'll just show you how it looks. I'm going over the lines. And I'll tell you why I'm going over the lines, because sometimes when you color in, you actually leave a section out, whereas if you go over the lines, you can always, in digital art at least, you can delete it. Now this won't look very impressive, but I'm just going to show you. This is the shape of my tiger. Let me just delete this. It's some extra. Now what I'm going to do is back to this layer, and I'm going to press on delete. I am fine tuning it, but I'm not doing such a fine tuned job. Like, I'm not really being a perfectionist. As you can see here, it's bled over. I'm doing a basic erase to understand where my layers are. Okay. I don't want to be so rough also that I leave this part, so again I'm going over this part so I don't miss anything. What I've found is that if you go over the line, you can still erase it, but if you go under the line, then there's always a empty patch that you have. So for coloring, especially digitally, I always go over the line and then I erase. That should be more or less done. So now it looks like I've colored this in. Let's see. More or less the shape is fine, but see, now I've left a few parts here which I can make. Okay, so now if you see, this is not a very clean line. It's got a little texture, which is exactly how I want it. That's why I used a brush that had a little texture. I'm just neatening this line. All right, so here we are. All right, so now I have two options. I can do a clipping mask above this, okay, and then I can only color what's in the orange. So for example, if I want to now go into black, but I'm doing a little gray because, and the brush I have is Eagle Eye, so now I'm going to change my brush to maybe Little Pine. I don't know how that is. Oh, this is nice. So I'm doing it on the layer, but I've selected a clipping mask and I haven't chosen any blend mode. I'm just coloring it. I haven't chosen pure black. I've chosen almost black, because with pure black and pure white you can't really do much. I don't know if you can see, but there's also a texture in this brush, so it's looking pretty cool. I like that it's giving a little white, like a dual color. That's creating a nice effect. You don't have to color it exactly the way I'm coloring. You can do it. You can make a purple tiger if you want. The good thing about coloring books is that what you do with them is up to you. So this is, I'm happy with the streaks, so I'm gonna merge it and it's going to be one mode. Okay, all right, so now again this has created a very nice shape, so let's continue. Now I'm going to make a new layer for other things. Let's do the eyes, because I really like eyes. Okay, so I'm going to choose, okay, let's do blue. Again, I'm on a new layer and I'm going over the line of the black, okay, because I don't want it to. So again, if you move this, this is how the eyes look. So now I've done this all in one eye. Okay, this is pretty cool, but I will need the black, so just for fun, let me just put a dot here. Now, if you want to do go fancy with the eyes, what I would recommend is click on Alpha Lock. Okay, if you want to go fancy, I've gone too close, and take like I'm taking this chalk. Chalk is nice; it gives a nice texture. I've clicked on chalk and I've pressed the airbrush brush. Okay, which means it'll automatically select chalk as its airbrush. I'm experimenting. If it doesn't look nice, I'll undo. Maybe not. So now you've got this light, these eyes that are a little more different than just plain on colors. Okay? So this kind of makes his or her eyes pop. Okay? All right. So now we've got the eyes on one layer. You can merge them, but you don't need to. You can, if you have the layers, you can do this. All right, so maybe we can work on maybe the apron. So let's choose a color for the apron. I like turquoise, so let's make the apron a turquoise apron. I'm going to choose a shale brush. There's no reason why I'm choosing these brushes. I'm just trying to work with the native brushes and show you that, number one, you don't need to buy brushes, but of course the brushes that you can buy are very, very nice. But I'm just showing you, again, I'm just painting in the direction that I'd want this to go. Okay. So I've painted this on another layer. So the fun part of this is that if I want to change the color of the elements that I've chosen, I can. I like the grungy feel of this brush. Now, just so you know, the white space that is coming out is actually, if you remove the transparency, it'll be completely transparent. So whatever color you put here, if you put red, then the red will come behind. So just something for you to know. A lot of times what people do is they'll color inside a base color and then over that do some shading over it to give like a look. I'm not really bothered with that right now. Okay. Alright. So that seems cute. Alright. Now I put the apron here. Now again, just to show you, if I want to change the color of the apron, you can go click on this magic wand brush and click on hue saturation and change the color to whatever you want. If you want to give it a more earthy look, I like this, and I want to just change the saturation a little more and maybe make it a little bright. Okay, so now what's happened is we've got an apron. You can use the same layer and create matching boots if you'd like. Gone over it a little bit, and because this layer is above the tiger, it looks like it's covering this, but this solution is very easy. You just get the brush and brush this out. Get the brush and brush. Oh, accidentally. I don't want to do that. Just remove this part. Alright, so now you have a tiger with its apron, and maybe I'm going to give it a different color hat. Let's see how that will look, because I don't want the same color, so I'll give it maybe a straw color hat. So again, I'm in a different layer, and I'm going to fill this hat. Now, as you can see, I have all the shapes filled in except the other apron. So now if you see this, you've got the tiger's shape body, but the side of the apron has not come. So let's go back to the apron layer. I basically forgot about that. So let's go here and choose this color, and I'm doing a bigger fill in this one. If I want to create a pattern on the apron that looks like a cloth, right? I'm going to clip this mask and I'm going to draw. This is from the Artifacts Forge Timelapse. I think it's a part of a collection that he has. Okay, now I like this pattern a lot, but I also would not like it to look so dark. So I'm going to play with the blend modes. So multiply, it doesn't pop up. If you see normal, lighten, screen, color dodge, lighten, overlay. I like overlay because it's creating a darker color, but the best is soft light. Now I've created what looks like a fabric, which is fun. So merge this down, and now I've got this fabric. I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to create a pattern. So I'm going to put this on clipping mask again, and now I'm going to look for another pattern. There are lots of nice patterns. Oops. So maybe smaller dots. I just go over it once without lifting my pen. above this I'm going to create another pattern. Let's see, a diagonal pattern. I'm going to make it O, which is like an overlay mode, which it gives it like a white will make it dark, light, like it'll blend very well. Okay, let's try this in overlay mode and see what happens. Soft light looks much better. Soft light is nice. Okay, let's make the soft light again, and oh, that's very nice. Okay, now because I'm happy with that, I am closing this and I've sealed this. Now we've got a very nice little illustration going on without lines, and it's nice, but something is missing. It's the face. If I want to shade this orange and only this orange, I go to the layer, and above that I create a clipping mask. Okay, you see, when I'm painting this over, I'm not painting with red, I'm painting with black on an overlay mode. Okay, so what this does is it creates a darker version of this color. Now if you want to create a highlight over this, you create this, which is slightly lighter. I've just gone to some random reference. Okay, so I'm just choosing a pink color here and a black here. This doesn't need to be so accurate, but I'm just, because I forgot how a tiger's face looks. Now as you can see, I've done this on a layer, so I can tweak this. This looks really fabulous. But if I go to the overlay mode, I could highlight these parts, right? So I'm going to white on overlay, and I'm gonna create a, underneath the dark, I'm gonna create a light. Ooh, I've missed that. Back to the overlay mode. Again, I think I've missed this mark, so let me go back here to the main and choose the color. What I've done now is that I've created some highlights, and I'm going to continue highlighting the dark areas and darkening the highlighted areas. This just gives a little richness. Let's do more. So there's an element of white in the tiger's face. I'm doing like a rough blending. This is not supposed to be so real. Ooh, this is nice. It's looking very glassy. I need to get some black into his face too. So this is available on Gumroad right now for you to download if you want to experiment and paint along with me. this is what I've done. This is the shading I've done to go crazy. I've created like a really nice background, and this is the print. You can see how it looks. Okay, so this is the print result with the shadow, the print result with the background and the back shading and stuff. Personally, I prefer this one. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to try this and do your version and your take, feel free to do it, and you're welcome to share and tag me. I'm Sang Art Studio on Instagram. Feel free to print out your final designs, and you can frame them, you can gift them, you can make them into cards. Alright, thanks for joining me, and I will catch you in the next video.